So hey guys, welcome to World Conservation Summit. My name is Tanya Anderson and I am your host. Today we have an amazing speaker. Her name is Kate Nolan.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey my friend, so nice to see you. So the topic we will talk into today is octopus farming and other wild animals issues. So why this organization is called I Defenders of Animals? Is that correct to say, my friend?
Yeah, in defense of animals.
Okay, perfect. It's just like, so it is correct. And why I picked this organization is because they are fighting for animals' rights, and they're fighting for different kind of animals that can be like farm animals, family animals, wild animals, and we're doing an amazing job to really put it out there. What is the facts, exactly what is happening out there? Because there is a lot of places to go to find the information, and we get to know where to go to find the information around the facts. So we know, is this the truth or not? And I Defenders of Animals is a beautiful place, amazing place to go to really find good information around what is happening out there in the world. And what can I, as the people, as one person, make it change my life to make a difference. So my friend, talk a little bit more about I Defenders of Animals. What is this organization?
Yeah, so in defense of animals, it's our 40th year anniversary. So
congratulations.
yeah, exciting. We've been around for 40 years. We defend all kinds of animals. So it started actually in California in the United States, advocating for laboratory animals used in testing. And it kind of just branched out from there. We now advocate for companion animals who are facing animal cruelty, who need help. We do wild animals issues, farmed animals issues. We cover the whole spectrum of animals, just ensuring that there are people looking out for them and that we're moving in the right direction to kind of protect these animals and ensure that they're treated fairly. And so I'm our general campaigner. So I kind of also cover a whole spectrum. I focus a lot in wild animals, but do some farmed animal work and companion animal work as well.
Amazing, amazing. And where did it start, your passion for octopus? I know you're doing other things, so we are keeping to the topic to you guys that's watching this video around octopus farmers and other wild animals issue. So where did you find this passion for octopus?
Yeah, so when I was little, I loved bugs and frogs and snakes, all like the creepy crawlies and the slimy animals that people don't traditionally really like. So I felt like it was only natural that when I came to In Defense of Animals, I started covering octopuses because they're also kind of slimy and creepy, and people they're in a lot of media as like the Kraken. They're kind of they have a scary narrative behind them, and people tend to fear them. But I also read a book by one of my favorite authors, Cy Montgomery. She has a book called The Soul of an Octopus. And it's a story about how she befriends these different octopuses who she meets and learns more about them. And the more I hear about octopuses, the more invested in them I get. And I don't know if anyone has seen My Octopus Teacher. That's another big film that's really brought octopuses into the spotlight. Yeah. So they're just such beautiful, intelligent beings. And that's really why I care so much about them.
Amazing. And the movie you talk about, it is on Netflix, as I remember, correct?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, so I will invite you out there to see it. It is a beautiful story around a wild octopus a scuba diver is seeing, and this octopus is changing the human's life completely. Is this correct? Just a short version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And why did you choose? I know you have touched a little bit about it, but why did you choose to work with octopus farming?
Yeah, and obviously I cover a broad spectrum, but specifically, we're kind of at this time in the world where we're making this shift away from factory farming and large scale agricultural farming. We know it's bad for the planet. We know it's bad for animals. We know It's bad for human health. And so at a time when we're trying to collectively shift away from factory farming, it makes absolutely no sense to be developing a new area of factory farming. Octopuses have never been farmed before, and there are several companies who are trying to start, and it's just the perfect time to stop it in its tracks so that it doesn't progress any further. Again, it doesn't make any sense to farm octopuses, and with the my octopus teacher, everyone is kind of coming up to speed with how intelligent octopuses are. And so not only does it not make sense for those other reasons, but it doesn't make sense because of how intelligent octopuses are and how curious of animals they are. So that's a big reason why.
Mm. And why is that important to stop octopus farming?
Yeah. So one reason that's interesting tied to human health is that octopuses, they actually carry over 20 pathologies or diseases, including one that's actually cholera in humans. So there is that chance that octopuses could spread some zoonotic diseases to humans, and keeping them in confined spaces could exacerbate the spread of those diseases. So that's a big one.
Wow.
Also, there's some logistical reasons that make octopuses specifically really hard to farm. So they're very territorial animals. So you couldn't really put them in like a concentrated tank and have them breed. They have to be kept in individual spaces so that they don't fight with each other. In addition to that, they're carnivorous, so that makes them very difficult to feed. If you think of most of the animals that we farm, you know, cows, pigs, chickens, they can all be fed grain, different types of plant food sources, but because octopuses eat fish, that makes it very difficult to keep them alive. And most of the fish that is suitable for octopuses to eat, they're also consumed by people. So farming octopuses not only puts a strain on octopuses, but it puts a strain on those wild fish populations. If we're catching fish to feed octopuses too, just is really sustainable, puts a pressure on those populations as well. And I keep repeating the same thing. Octopuses are so intelligent. They had on the news just a couple of weeks ago, some researchers found that octopuses actually throw things at each other when they get upset or they reach confrontation. It's so funny. They throw shells at one another or at fish passing by to say kind of like, get out of my space. And there are all sorts of stories about octopuses in laboratories and in zoos, and they figure out how to crawl out of their enclosures and try to escape. And I can just see that going very horribly in a factory farm. Octopuses trying to escape and getting out. And then another logistical problem is they're very difficult to breed. They don't breed well in captivity. No one's figured out how to breed them in captivity. And a female octopus, once she lays her eggs, she then dies afterwards. So you can't continue to have a fertile octopus laying eggs, because they will die after they lay the first clutch of eggs. So it makes it very unsustainable to breed a population of octopuses, which so far, the companies that have been kind of testing the waters a bit, they've been catching wild octopuses and raising them in captivity, which doesn't really make much sense at all. Yeah, you
also see that like in the video you talk about of Octopus, my teacher, or what is it that the title was called?
Yeah, My Octopus Teacher.
Yeah, where you also see that it is a female octopus where it is dying in the end of the video, and why it is like what is happening afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. They lay their eggs and that's it. And their lifespan is about 3 to 4 years. So they're pretty quick. They live pretty quickly.
Yes. So what is the specific 3 threats you are facing in your work around octopus farming?
Yeah, I think the one biggest thing is that people don't really know about it. People don't know that octopuses are, people are trying to farm octopuses. I personally, I didn't even know that people ate octopuses until recently. So I think a big thing is that there isn't a lot of knowledge out there about what's going on and about octopuses being farmed. And then I think number two is there's a lot of resistance from large corporations and companies who want to explore octopus farming for a profit. And so we're facing pushback from large industries, and that's very difficult. That's one of the biggest logistical challenges for moving forward for protections for octopuses. And then I guess the third is that, and this is something I personally face too, sometimes it's really hard to know what you as an individual can really do to help. I know that I've struggled with that, what can I do in order to make a big enough impact? Is what I'm doing actually making a difference? And what are some actual tangible things that I myself can take action on to protect octopuses? Sometimes I know myself and other people can get bogged down with those questions, trying to figure out how they can help in the best way possible.
Yeah. When you also share that, like, a lot of people see this like big, what you call threat that's happening around the world, and a lot of people's losing hope around what does it matter for me to make a difference when is so big challenge out there in the world to like around octopus farming. Mm-hmm. So what is the solution you have found to turn it around to something powerful around the threat you're facing?
Yeah, definitely. I think first and foremost is education. And, that's why I'm here today. That's why I speak at hearings and I write blogs, just trying to help people understand why we should care about octopuses, why they're such amazing animals, and why we shouldn't farm them. So I think educating people is the key, and becoming educated yourself is the key, and then helping others to learn what you've learned. In terms of the resistance from corporations, it's pretty hard to kind of change the minds of people working in those big industries. But from that angle, we pursue pressure campaigns. We collaborate with other organizations who've launched like legal suits to stop these companies, and then also passing laws. I was just before this chat, I was actually waiting in a public hearing in Washington, a state in the United States, who's considering banning octopus farming, which would be really huge. And then for not really knowing what you yourself can do, I just kind of try to remind myself that being an advocate means a lot of different things, and it shows up in different ways. There are so many tools that you have and skills that you can use to be an advocate, and it doesn't look like just one thing. So you can, organize protests or kind of get together in your local community, get people together to stand up for what your passions are and what you believe in. And in this case, octopus farming, support local legislation, support organizations that you care about, sign alerts and petitions, and make sure your voice is getting out there and you're really speaking up for what you're fighting for.
Yeah, that is very interesting when you touch around to be advocate, because a lot of people, as I talk with, I also believe you have experienced that in your work, Katie, is when you say advocates, people is connected to an activist, like someone that is doing crazy stuff. Whereas, like, as you also talk about, like, advocate is so many things. It can make like writing a blog. It can make a video. It can also share information from a organization to stand for. The advocate is so many things.
Yeah, definitely. And I love how you highlight the difference between advocate and activist. And I do think in some situations there's a place for activism. But when I think activism, I think more protests or, tying yourself to a tree so it doesn't get cut down, that sort of thing. But yeah, like you said, there's so many other ways to get involved as an advocate, where you can work with your government to pass laws, and you can work with your community and build coalitions and exactly create media, write, start a social media campaign, volunteer for an organization you care about. There's so many ways to get involved, and really it comes down to thinking about what skills you have and what tools you have at your disposal, what you are able to get access to, and kind of combining those two to figure out what the perfect way to make a difference is for you.
Exactly. So you are there, if you have the passion, as I believe some of you out there have, for octopus, you can ask your friends, like, who is in your community, like who is close to you, they will have the same passion as you, and get together and reach out to defenders of animals and say, hey, we have passion for octopus, like what can we do when we're living in Denmark or London, you name it, wherever it is, because you can make a difference around octopus no matter where you are in the world. It's all about like expand your brain to look at different ways of creativity and see, okay, what is how can a solution be here, instead of talk about it, like what is the action you can put on it.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do we have something to share around that? If a person have a passion around octopus, like what can they do as the first step?
Yeah, definitely. I think the very first step is to, again, back to the education, kind of get educated. And I think when I was first starting out, it's very overwhelming. You know what you care about and you're passionate and you really want to do something, but you just feel like you don't have a platform to really work from. And for me, I overcame that by volunteering for organizations. I reached out to organizations I cared about. I asked what I could do to help. I started, speaking at meetings. I started showing up to volunteer events, and it kind of got rolling from there. And now I work full time doing what I care about, which I'm very lucky. But I think really it's in your free time, just finding those other people who care about the same thing and working with them to find solutions and create change. I think once you find those people who care about the same thing, that's really when you can make change.
Yeah, and can support each other in it, because this fight, this cause around to take a stand for animals, to take a stand for octopus, is a fight or a choice we get to do together. On that point, we're also playing the bigger game instead of playing the lonely game by myself. We get to play together around how can we get together as a unit and really support and make the bigger move when you have a campaign. So get like people on it. So really people all over the world can like push the campaign on the same time. That is amazing things to do to you out there. Like there's so many ideas what you can do. So one more questions, Kate, before we're going in to ask Q&A. If there's someone that have Q&A and questions to you, is what is one of the hope? What is the light side of octopus farming that is happening out there?
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw the light today at this hearing in Washington. Is they're considering a ban. People are starting to learn about this, and people are taking action and being proactive about stopping this before it becomes a big thing. And just knowing that there's a state in the United States that is considering a ban, that's huge. And there was also a farm in Hawaii that started, but it didn't have the correct permits, so it was temporarily halted. But there have been so many activists speaking out against that farm and pushing back, and the amount of pushback really gives me hope. And the fact that people have made movies like My Octopus Teacher, or written books like The Soul of an Octopus. There's a lot of information out there about octopuses, and I really do have hope that if we all continue to band together and push back, we can stop octopus farming before it really even becomes a problem.
The final words, the last words you would like to share, if there's something you would like to share with the audience, what will that be, Kate?
Yeah, gosh, I guess I guess just go out there and really take a stand for what you're passionate about, and speak up and speak out for octopuses if that's what you care about. And you know, try plant-based, don't eat octopuses. One of my big suggestions. If going vegan intimidates you, just try a meatless Monday. And I think above all, be kind to other people and to animals. And I really think that's how we make changes, by being kind to others, and even people who don't necessarily see your point of view. Really just respecting others, I think, is how we're going to move forward.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, because what you choose to put out there, like be kind to others, your ears is hearing what you're saying, and this will also affect you, how you're showing up in your work to the others. It will affect you, how you treat others. You will get the same feeling inside. So if you treat people badly because maybe they don't have the same lifestyle as you, or the same belief, you will get that feeling in you. So choose to really meet people where they are and be curious on it, and yeah, see it with new eyes instead of judgments. Really see it with new eyes and be okay with you're different, and different is a beautiful thing in this world.
Definitely.
Perfect.
That's very well said.
So to you, the audience, all the links to the Fitness of Animals is below this video, or where you can follow them. There is a short bio around Kate, so you really read more about who she is and the organizations and all the social media where you go follow them. So we'll invite you to go click on all the links and follow them and share the message. Also share this video. And really, like, maybe my push to you is make a live video, tag the Fitness in it, and share what you gain out of this video. Because more we get out there and showing up, will inspire other people to do the same. And it's like we get to really take a new stance together to make this world a better place.
Definitely.
Perfect. So to you guys that is on here live together with Kate and me, if you have some questions to Kate around octopus farming or other wild animals issues, you are welcome to raise your hands and she will ask your questions. You're also welcome to ask something else to Kate. She is here to really give you the information you need around what you have in your mind. So raise your hands and we will pick you so you can ask your questions. I can see, Wendy, do you have a question for Kate around octopus farming or something else you could do in your life to really serve the octopus? I don't know if you can hear me, Wendy. Okay. Do you have questions to Kate around something around octopus? Okay, perfect. So yeah, we will leave it with this. So to you, thank you so much, Wendy, for seeing this, and so nice to have you all here on together with Kate and me. If you have some questions afterwards, you see this on replay, please reach out to Kate or the organization, ask the questions. They are here for you. And thank you so much for being here and really supporting iDefender's work, because it's amazing, important work. And go follow the links. And thank you so much, Kate, for being here. It was a blessing. It was so interesting to know more about octopus farming, to see what it is happening out there and what can I do from Denmark to make a difference for it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on here. And yeah, to echo, definitely reach out to me. I love talking about octopuses. If you think of any questions later on, I'm so happy to answer them.
Amazing, amazing. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. And thank you so much, Kate, again. And yeah, go click on all the links. And I wish you an amazing day. And thank you so much for being here, everyone. Bye, everyone.